We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to this channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. If you want to support this Rebel Outpost, the home for the college football sickos, with a donation, hit that $ where you make your comments, and I'll get to your super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome in everybody, especially those Bulldogs, the Longhorns, the Rebels, the Tigers, all of you. Welcome on in, SEC country. Welcome on into the studio that sits in the middle or sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments, and with your phone calls. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for joining us for the last 3 years. We started this YouTube channel August 10th. Our first video was released August 10th of 2022. It was a mad scramble to get this thing going because the Los Angeles Times article was going to be coming out on August 20th. So we knew we had about 10 days to get this launched, explain the USC story, and then go on our way. I did not think that this channel would be where it is at after 3 years. I was thinking maybe 2,500 subscribers. Having a lot of fun after 3 years. I've got notes on it. I got text messages to the little general saying maybe we'll get above 1,000 after a couple of years, and maybe 2,500, and then maybe, but my goodness, I showed a statistic today on my X account because of you all, you Einsteins, you passionate college football fans. This small little outpost, the rebel outpost of college football, this very tiny YouTube channel, after 3 years, you guys have done 24,500 comments. You have done over 145,000 likes. Now, I know there's YouTube channels out there that have been around for a long time. They're 4, 5, 6, 7 times bigger than this YouTube channel. And their host is not a moron. The host doesn't try to sing. The host has a better than 40% winning percentage against the spread. There's a lot of people out there that are a whole lot more talented, younger, better look. Not that. Anyways, but man, they don't have 145,000 likes. Not in 3 years. So that doesn't have to do with the host. That has to do with the PATC family. Holy smokes. I am very humbled by that. We are very grateful for that. I do not tell you enough how grateful we are because I got to tell you, this is a great outlet. I love college football. Okay, I don't always get the pick against the spread correctly. All right. Am I ranked in the bottom 3% in the country? Okay. Do I do stupid things like sing on this show? Yes. Do I have a grating personality? Of course. But this is a great outlet, a creative outlet. I love talking college football. And now we have created a community that loves to talk college football, that gives each other the friendly elbow. And that is all because of you all. That is all because of you guys and gals showing up constantly, giving me the elbow as I give you Einsteins the elbow back. You guys have to listen to my Golden Gopher propaganda. You have to listen to me cry after another crushing defeat as I sit here in the studio that sits in the middle of Loserville City, and I have been reelected mayor once again. Somehow you guys put up with all of that, and you join us here for PATC. So I wanted to start this show out by saying thank you to you all. I don't know why you guys keep showing up. It's not because of this beautiful face. So thank you guys, gals. I appreciate it so very much. And by the way, this is our 3rd year celebration anniversary. And once again, before I go to the roll call and before I go to very generous donations to help us keep the lights on as we begin this 3rd year, 4th year, by the way. Thank you, MBM. I'll get to you all in a moment. Thank you, MBM. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'll get to you in a moment, sir. Once again, Greg the bad guy, Darth Vader, I'm going to be coming in and I'm going to be supporting. I'm going to be trying to save. I'm going to try to be Paul Revere. I'm going to try to be the hero once again. And no, MBM, I'm not talking about the college football playoff format. I've got to try to save Farmageddon. I got to try to save Farmageddon. Farmageddon. Iowa State. Kansas State. Of course, I didn't have this ready yet. I did not have this ready yet for whatever reason. Iowa State, Kansas State. It has 108 consecutive seasons they have played. The Wildcats and the Cyclones. 108 straight seasons. Going back all the way to 1917. They play this year. They play in Dublin, Ireland. We're getting ready. We're going to be doing a watch party on that game. The whole country is going to watch that game. The whole country is going to watch the Cyclones and the Wildcats. The whole country knows about the rivalry. But yet, Kansas State's 2027 football schedule. South Dakota, Georgia Southern, North Carolina State, Arizona, Kansas, BYU, Utah, Baylor, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Texas Tech, UCF. What am I missing here? Who's not scheduled on the 2027 Wildcats football schedule? The Iowa State Cyclones. Take a look at Iowa State's schedule. 2027, South Dakota State Jackrabbits, Iowa, Bowling Green, Arizona State, Colorado, TCU, Houston, UCF, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, West Virginia. Who doesn't the Iowa State Cyclones play in 2027? What is going on? What is going on? Why ain't they playing in 2027? Why are not they playing every single year? Why is the Cyclones and the Wildcats not scheduled to play each other every single year? What is the thinking? What is the logic? Brett Yormark, what is going on? It wasn't protected for some reason. Brett Yormark, you got to make the change. And if you don't make the change, then Kansas State and Iowa State should tell Iowa, bye-bye. We are going to play a non-conference game against the Kansas State Wildcats. Bye-bye Iowa for 2027. Or do it to one of the other non-conference games. Schedule that season. Maybe to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits or to the Bowling Green Falcons. Kansas State should say bye-bye to Georgia Southern or South Dakota. Play a non-conference game. If Brett Yormark, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Even in these large conferences, unbalanced scheduling, which playing games would help, but we're not going to go. I'm not going to go down that road today. Even in these large conferences, unbalanced scheduling, you got to make the rivalry games happen every single year. This is not a made-up rival. This is not a made-up rivalry. This is born in blood, sweat, and tears out in the farms of Kansas, in southern Ames, Iowa. This is a blood, sweat, and tears, common cultural, working man, working women rivalry. This ain't like the UConn, UCF, or this is a real rivalry. It's got to be played every single year. Make it happen, Brett Yormark. Make it happen. Into the Cyclones and Wildcats being screwed by the Big 12, you're just going to have to make it a non-conference game until Brett Yormark does the right thing. Okay. They can protect both. They can have two protected rival games. Kansas State can have two protected rival matchups. I think Iowa has three, correct? Iowa has three protective rival matchups. Kansas State can have two. Okay. Let's do a roll call, but I do appreciate everybody for coming on in. We've got a stacked show today. It's going to be our SEC order of finish prediction, the official one. We're going to bolt it in, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got a shocker. We've got a shocker in the predictions. I have fallen in love. So we are going to be revealing that here in a little bit. We're also going to be doing, we're going to go over this article in The Athletic that came out this morning. The historical mountain that the Florida State Seminoles are trying to climb this year. Going from 2-10 and then trying to get to the college football playoffs, trying to be a contender, trying to contend to go to the ACC championship game. Historically, the rebound that quickly and that successfully after dropping off the table, it is almost impossible. There is an example or two in which it happened, but most of the time it takes more than a year to get back in contender. But then again, we're working with a different college football landscape. We're working with NIL and portal and rev share. Maybe Florida State's got it all ready to go for 2025. Maybe there are going to be a contender for the ACC championship game. I got them finishing 8th in the ACC. So we're going to be going over the Athletic article of this morning on the Florida State Seminoles. And we're going to be looking at some individual games. Just a little bit on this third anniversary live show. We have talked football all off season. This is the last of my predictions. Now we are going to head into the games. Just going to get our feet wet one more time. We've got the updated lines. The updated lines for the top games that you Einsteins and Greg DeGold is going to be making our selections against the spread in week 0 and week 1. So we are going to touch upon those games. But first of all, I want to thank MBM. Thank you, Oklahoma State Cowboy, for being a member of Early Peak Cloak and Dagger. And then MBM, the incredible generosity of the Cowboy. Stillwater, Oklahoma State. MBM has told Mike Gundy to shut my mouth. Look, Mike Gundy would not be the first person to shut my mouth. There's a lot of people that have done it. Bo Nix, when I said that Bo Nix was not going to be an NFL quarterback, he shut my mouth. Cam Ward, he completely shut my mouth when I said his hands were too small. So when I say Mike Gundy is on the hot seat, Mike Gundy could tell the fat guy from Minnesota, shut your mouth. Thank you, MBM. 10 gifted memberships. Jonathan Weaver, the Buckshot Kid, Zach Mock, Dave Valinsky, Mr. Gopher is in the house. Michelle Wintraub, 945, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. You are now a member of our program. CP Stanley, Jay Morton, Eric Ruby, Broomba is in the house. Broomba and Terry Hanley, 685. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to MBM, the Oklahoma State Cowboy PATC family member. Say thank you to him for his generosity. All of you are officially knighted. Cloak and Dagger. You are officially knighted members of our program. You can go to our library of episodes and watch them all, including the members only program, Early Peak Cloak and Dagger programs. Thank you, MBM. I appreciate the incredible generosity. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Cowboy. And we got Kerry Gold Knowles. Greg, you and I are good as long as you never pick my Knowles to win anything. That is where you're wrong, Kerry Gold Knowles. That is where you are wrong. Because no more does Greg the Cooler exist.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
3 years of losing. 3 years of a horrific winning percentage against the spread.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we can.
Week 0. Locks. Week 1. Locks. SEC. Order of finish prediction. Locks. 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 Jeez, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get back in the studio. I cannot wait to get back in the studio after the Farmageddon game, after the Fresno State and Kansas game, when we do our aftermath, and I'm going to be wearing gold. I am going to be wearing gold. I'm not going to be looking like this. I'm just giving you guys a warning. I'm giving you all the warning. I'm not going to be looking like this on our aftermath shows. I'm going to be wearing gold from head to toe. The little general is working on it. I am going to be working gold because you've got to look it, right? You got to look to be the part. It all coincides with each other. First is belief, and then you got to dress like it. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So Kerry Gold knows you set me off. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your generosity once again, sir. Thank you so very much. I got Florida State finishing 8th. I got Florida State finishing 8th. We shall see. Hammer Hennison. Greg, so you have Penn State beating Ohio State in the snake pit. I got Penn State winning the Big Ten championship. That's what I got. I got Penn State winning in Indianapolis. That's what I got. Now, that's what I got. Absolutely. I'm not going to back away from it. I'm not backing away from anything, baby. I'm not. No. I'm not. Now, my only questions on the Nittany Lions is, do they win the whole damn thing? Do they win the national championship? Do they get to the championship game and lose? Do they get to the semifinals like they did last year and lose? That's the only questions I have in the Nittany Lions. Everything else I have figured out. I have figured it out. The Nittany Lions are winning the Big Ten championship. Look, the most stressed out fan base in the PATC family are the Nittany Lions. They are the most... It ain't the Florida State Seminole fan base. It's not the Clemson fan base. It's not the Kansas fan base. It's not the Golden Gophers fan base, even though we're going to be heartbroken. The most stressed out fan base in the PATC family are the Nittany Lions. Because they've been heartbroken. They just barely get there, and then they can't get there. They know that I probably jinxed them when I was Greg the Cooler, but that's in the past. When I declared that Penn State hockey was going to win the national championship and they lost, but that's in the past. That ain't going to happen. Nittany Lion fans, relax. We got this. We got this. I'm not going to stop you. I am not going to be the rock. I am not going to be the boulder that gets in the way of you celebrating a Big Ten championship in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are going to be doing a watch party of the Big Ten championship game. And Penn State is going to be celebrating. The Nittany Lions fan base in the chat room is going to be celebrating. They're going to be celebrating in Indiana and all over the country. It's a massive fan base, massive alumni base, massive brand, massive everything. And they are going to be celebrating in Indianapolis. Thank you, Helmer Henderson. Appreciate the super chat. Opie, D-Don, holy smokes. Massive super chat, and he disagrees with me. My goodness. I absolutely agree to disagree 100%, by the way, of the 1%. Positively, most likely, probably, maybe, sometimes. Most certainly, uncertain, always. Until proven, unproven incorrectly. Right, by the way, of wrongly accused of being right. Happy 25th something something. Go Tigers. You know what? I actually understand every word you just put out there, Opie. Because our minds are like this. We are connected. Our brilliance is not understood, Opie. Thank you so much for agreeing to disagree on the 100% that we've got about a 1% chance of getting it right. Opie, thank you so much for your super chat. And especially for your creativityness. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow. Thank you for the monster super chat, helping us keep the lights on. Opie, thank you. You've been very generous, very important member of the family. Thank you. I'm very humbled by your incredible generosity. Thank you. Stephen McNeely, congrats, Greg. You've come a long way, baby. Thank you, Stephen McNeely. Because of people like Opie and Helmer Henderson and Eva Badger and Kerry Gold Nose and Jeremy Nork, you guys have made it possible. All of you have made it possible. You have greased the skids. And I thank you. Thank you so very much. Evil Badger. Do the Evil Badgers have 9 lives? I definitely used 3 last night. Historic flooding, leaving the Brewers game last night. Wow. I saw that. People were stranded in their cars in the Milwaukee State Fair? Our prayers go out to the Wisconsinites battling all that rain. We're getting more rain today in Minnesota. We are getting, and I think Iowa and Missouri are getting hit tonight or today. A lot of rain, lots of rain this summer in the Midwest. Thank you, Evil Badger. Appreciate your generosity once again, sir. Our prayers go out to you and the Wisconsinites out there. My wife was on the St. Croix River last night on a boat at a party. A lot of mariachi music being played, and the waters are high. The waters are very, very high. Thank you, Evil Badger. Jeremy Nork, cheers to a Penn State win in the Big Ten and the CFB. There you go, Jeremy. Jeremy believes. He understands what's happened here. The transition from Greg the Cooler to Greg the Gold, it has happened. Jeremy gets it. He might be the only one who gets it, but he completely understands. Thank you, Jeremy, for the generosity. Thank you so very much. Carrie Gold knows, happy anniversary, Greg. Thank you, Carrie. Without all of your help, it probably would not have gotten done. Thank you, Carrie, for all your support, your generosity to the program. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Greg, who's winning in Columbus? The Buckeyes or Penn State? We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to see what's going on. We're going to have to see who's injured, not injured. A great, and I can't remember, I think it was, was it, forgot the name. Was it Long Shot Philly? Long Shot Philly? Somebody Google that. Is there somebody, a famous gambler named Long Shot Philly who did the races, the horse races? Something Philly or something Philadelphia. Anyways, years ago, he said in a book that he wrote, you can't beat the race, but you can beat the races. In other words, you cannot guarantee, you cannot win that one race. But if you apply your tools correctly to handicapping the thoroughbreds, you can win the races. In other words, you can come out ahead in the long run. But you cannot guarantee, the tools do not work so much in the short run. That's what I'm talking about in 2025. The long run, the long race. I've applied the tools of Greg the Gold, and Penn State is the Big Ten champion. But I'm not going to be, we're going to have to just wait for the singularity of these games as the season goes on. I'm not trying to cop out, but I am. I'm not trying to run away from the question, but I am. Sorry, Hemmer Henderson, that's the best I can do. Thank you for the $2 holla. Thank you so very much. We'll get to it when we get to it. That's my only answer that I can provide at this moment. Zero Wiz, Mr. Sparty, once again, happy 3 years, Greg. If it wasn't for the late GBD, I would not have found you. Thank you, Zero Wiz. Thank you, Sparty. I appreciate you coming on in, and I appreciate you being a member for 16 months. 16 months. Holy smokes. You are knighted once again, Zero Wiz. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Mowing After Dark. Happy 3rd anniversary. Please sing 3 is a Magic Number from Schoolhouse Rock. I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to the song. I'm going to have to rehearse it. You know how professional I am when it comes to rehearsing my music before I sing live in front of you animals. But I don't know how that song goes. 3 is a magic number. I don't know the song. But I will try. I will give it the effort. Moen, thank you so much for the super chat. It looks like the super chat number coincides with 3 is the magic number. Thank you, Moen After Dark. I appreciate it. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate letting me call you. I appreciate you opening up yourself to my grading personality. Thank you so very much. And I'm going to give you one more warning. Moen After Dark. I'm going to give you one more warning. It's probably the last warning I'm going to give you. October 4th. October 4th. It's going to be a very sad day in Columbus on October 4th. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Here we go. Let's get on with the show. Thank you for all your generosity. We're going to skip the roll call. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Conjunction Junction, what's your function? Is that the song? Is that the song? I don't know. Is that the song? That can't be the song. Okay, here we go, guys. Moen After Dark. No. Okay. All right. SEC order of finish prediction. Let's get it going. Kentucky number 16. Don't really have to say anything more, do I? I mean, Kentucky doesn't have a player in the first team all SEC, second team all SEC. It's just going to be a miserable season for the Kentucky Wildcats. They got Calzada as their quarterback. Seth McGowan's going to be their running back. They've lost their wide receiver room. pretty good experience back half of the secondary. Lovett and Bryant, the safeties, they're coming. They're returning back. But Kentucky is not going to win a SEC conference game this year. Mississippi State, we got it 15. And the prime reason for this, and Mississippi State, man, I mean, they lost Kevin Coleman. We're going to be talking about Kevin Coleman later in this order of finish prediction. He transferred to Missouri. Mississippi State, the talent that they had, they lost. With the exception of Blake Shapen, who's been around the horn a few times, transferred a couple of times. But Blake Shapen is a better quarterback than anything Kentucky has. Mississippi State, 15th. We talked about the running back of David Booth. Jordan Mosley is going to have to produce at the wideout. But Mississippi State, number 15. I'm not a believer in Vanderbilt. I'm watching the Netflix thing. I'm watching Diego Pavia. Their coach should get a lot of respect. The program is doing pretty good. They had a great season last year. They went 7-6 last year. They defeated the Georgia Tech Rambling Wreck in a bowl game. Of course, they had that big historic upset at Alabama. But I think they're going to get crushed here in 2025. They do play Kentucky and Tennessee at the end of the season. But that Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn stretch, they're losing all those games. And I'm sorry, but they're going to get destroyed at South Carolina the third week of the season. So we got Vanderbilt at number 14. I could not put them any higher. The Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, I had Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi, Kentucky in one batch. And I think Arkansas is the best of that batch. But I don't think it's going to save Sam Pittman's job. As you all know, I've got Sam Pittman at the number one spot in the hot seat going into week 0. Now, Arkansas starts the season at Alabama A&M, then Arkansas State. So, he's going to be okay for a couple weeks. But then they play at Ole Miss, at Memphis, Notre Dame, at Tennessee, Texas A&M, Auburn, and LSU in Texas and Missouri at the end of the season. Sam Pittman is not going to survive. I think he's going to be one of the very first head coaches in Autonomy 4 Conference that's going to lose their job. The Arkansas Razorbacks are going to get ahead in the head coaching cycle. They're going to be the first, second, third ones out of the gate. So I got Arkansas. I've got Arkansas at number 13. The Florida Gators, about 2 weeks ago, I had them number 5. I'm scared. I'm scared for the Gators. DJ Legway is practicing, sure, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he's healthy. Dallas Wilson, now he is coming back. He's the true freshman wide receiver that had such a great spring game, but now he's injured. And now when you are a true freshman wide receiver, you need reps before the season starts. You're never going to get those back. I like the Florida running back combination. I do. I think it's Vaughn and Jackson, if I got that right. Jacoby Jackson. Yeah, Jacoby Jackson. Jaden Baugh, Jaden Baugh. I like that running back combination for the Gators. But no, I had to drop them back. I'm too nervous. Like I think Billy Napier's in trouble. Some really bad luck. Ole Miss, number 11. They're soft. Soft. S-A-W-F-T, soft. They could not make a 3rd and 1. They could not make a 4th and 1 last year. It's why, even with an incredible quarterback, and he had a great season, they could not make the college football playoffs. They were a very good defensive team last year, and they could not make the playoffs. Physically, they were outstanding on defense. They are bringing back the great Perkins, number 4. He will. I mean, he's a great football player, but they lost a lot of production on defense. And Logan Diggs, no, they're going to need somebody else. Logan Diggs ain't no RB1 in SEC football. Austin Simmons, his first year as a starter, we'll see how he does. But Ole Miss, I do not think is going to finish in the top half of the conference. A lot of people have them up there. Some people have them in the playoffs. I do not. Tennessee, I kept looking back at Tennessee going, am I really going to have them this high? Because I'm not a believer in Tennessee this year. You all know this. But looking at the teams that are behind them, I would still have them behind them. I got the Tennessee Volunteers at number 10. I'm not a believer in that offensive line. Now, there is some good news coming out of Knoxville. There is some really good news coming out of it. Jermon McCoy, the great cornerback, the shutdown cornerback. He had an Achilles injury, and he's already practicing, and I saw the tapes. He's not in practice, but he's doing light drills. Man, he looks good. Can they get him back? When can they get him back? That's going to be a big deal. No, I'm not a believer in Tennessee. I got them at number 8. Number 9, Auburn. Singleton and Coleman, they're wide receivers. They've got electrifying wide receiver for the Auburn Tigers. This is not going to be your Auburn Tigers of the last couple of years. They're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be fun to watch. And, of course, Kedrick Falk, the defensive end with great measurables. We have talked about him during all the off-season. Number 15, watch the Auburn-Baylor game. Number 15, if he gets off the mark, if he's put pressure on Mr. Can't remember the quarterback of Baylor. If he gets pressure on him, look out. Auburn could win that game. Auburn Tigers have got some dudes. They've got Eric Singleton, the transfer from Georgia Tech, the great Cam Coleman, and Jackson Arnold is the quarterback, and I think he's better than people are giving him credit for. Truly, I believe that. Oklahoma did not have any receivers last year that were healthy, that could actually play, that could actually practice. Jackson Arnold is not an elite quarterback, but he's better than most people are giving him credit for. Auburn takes a step up with a chance to finish in the top half. And I think it's going to be enough to save Hugh Freeze's job. I don't think he's going to be on the hot seat. Now for the shocker. Texas A&M, number 8. Oklahoma, number 7. Alabama, number 6. Alabama, number 6. Did I say that? Did I actually say that? Yes, I did. Bama, number 6. Yes, I did. South Carolina, number 5. Missouri Tigers are going to the college football playoffs. LSU is going to the college football playoffs. Georgia and Texas. Texas A&M. I do not know. I could not put you ahead of Oklahoma. It was do-si-doing between those two squads. But I think Oklahoma has a higher ceiling. I trust the Oklahoma backfield overall just a little bit more. Now, Moss is back. The great running back who had over 800 yards before he got injured. So that is great news for Texas A&M. But I'm not a believer in Marcel Reed. I don't know if he's going to be able to take full advantage of a KC Concepcion, the man who transferred, the great receiver, possession receiver, third down receiver, the transfer from North Carolina State. I don't know if Marcel Reed can take full advantage of KC Concepcion. Texas A&M number 8, I could not put them ahead of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the wild card. I have a wild card in every conference. Oklahoma is the SEC wild card. They are the great unknown. John Mateer and Jaden Ott. Holy smokes. Can Mateer play in SEC football? I think he can. I think Mateer is a guy who can take full advantage of having Deion Burks as his wide receiver. We got Oklahoma at number 7. Number 6, Alabama. Now I know a lot of you guys think I'm crazy. I know a lot of you guys think I'm crazy. Alabama number 6. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? First of all, I think everyone's going to find out real quick that Florida State is going to be able to hang with the Alabama Crimson Tide in week 1. I'm not a believer in Ty Simpson. I don't even know if I'm a believer in Jam Miller. I don't even know if I'm a believer in LT Overton, the so-called great defensive end. We've talked about it. It's projection. I don't see the production. Now, Alabama, of course, they got a bunch of great, they're Keon Saab and Bray Hubbard. And yes, they're loaded guys. Brian Williams, one of the best wide receivers in the country, but I don't think Alabama finishes in the top 4, and I don't think they even finish in the top 5 of the conference. I think alarm bells are going to be blowing loud and strong after the Florida State game. I think Tony White is going to have Ty Simpson all confused. Bama's going to win that game, but they're going to be rattled. They are going to be rattled. And when they go to Georgia on September 27th, they're going to lose. And when they go to Missouri on October 11th, they're going to lose. And when they go to South Carolina, they're going to lose. And they might just lose that LSU or Oklahoma game at home. Alabama is not going to finish in the top 4 or 5. Bama is not going to make the playoffs once again. South Carolina. Now, why don't I have South Carolina number 4? Why don't I have South Carolina number 3? I'm a little worried about Missouri Tigers defense. We're going to talk about that in a moment. I think LSU's defense under second-year defensive coordinator Blake is going to be better. They're going to be better. The LSU Tigers defense is going to be better. But South Carolina's defense is going to definitely take a step back. Their offense is going to take a half a step forward. And I think South Carolina is on the march for another 9-3, 8-4 season. I'm going to be rooting for the Gamecocks. I think they're going to be a really good team this year once again. But I think they just miss out. I cannot put them ahead of Texas, Georgia, LSU, and I cannot put them ahead of the Missouri Tigers. The Missouri Tigers are going to win 10 games, and they're going to make the playoffs. Book it. Absolutely book it. Sam Horn, Bo Pribula, quarterback battle. I think Pribula, once he gets the reps, once he gets the experience, Missouri is going to take off. Ahmed Hardy is probably going to be the best running back in the Southeastern Conference. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Ahmed Hardy is probably going to be the best running back in the Southeastern Conference. Kevin Coleman is a fantastic wide receiver. It's too bad Mississippi State could not hang on to him. And he went on to Missouri. Missouri is they're going to score a lot of points this year, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to score a lot of points. And if you look at that schedule, they're winning 10 games. They are winning 10 games. They're going to get to the college football playoffs. Number 4, Missouri. LSU, we got it number 3, the LSU Tigers. It looks like Nussmeier has a little bit of tendinitis going on. Hopefully he gets back to healthy. The defense is going to be better than they were last year. They also did not have a physical running game. LSU did not have it. Georgia did not have it. Ole Miss did not have it. For whatever reason, Southeastern Conference, they did not have the physical running games that they've had in the past. LSU was not physical at the line of scrimmage last year. Caden Durham, Harlan Berry, the freshman, hopefully he gives LSU a little bit of juice. Aaron Anderson, he's going to have a big year if Nussmeier stays healthy. Aaron Anderson, the great wide receiver, is going to have a big year. Barry Brown, the transfer from Kentucky. Nick Anderson. LSU's loaded, guys. They're going to make the playoffs. We've got them number 3 in the SEC. Now, Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia for me, is a scary, scary team. I don't know what we're going to get. I do not know what we are going to get. They got to give the ball to Nate Frazier. Are they going to give the ball to Nate Frazier? Is Kirby Smart going to have an RB1? Are they going to give the ball to Nate Frazier? I am not confident about that. Zachariah Branch. You guys know I'm not a believer in Zachariah Branch. They got a transfer from USC, Zachariah Branch. Dylan Bell, he had the drops late last year. Hopefully that gets all corrected. He's a good receiver. Colby Young, probably going to have a monster year. I love the transfer. Noah Thomas. I love that transfer. The defense is going to be awfully good. We talk about Allen, the inside linebacker. Everett, the senior cornerback. Of course, KJ Bolden, the sophomore All-American safety. Georgia is going to be a tough out. But it is again, Gunnar Stockton, what are we getting? What exactly are we getting with Gunnar Stockton? What exactly are we getting with Kirby Smart's not giving the ball to Nate Frazier? Georgia could not run the ball last year. Georgia could not run the ball last year. Well, they didn't give it to Nate Frazier, but they're running their average. Georgia has got to get back to being Georgia, not being so pass happy. I don't know what we're going to get this year. But I could not have them in any other spot than number 2. In Texas, we got the Longhorns as number 1. Do I have to say anything about the Longhorns? I've been talking about them all off season. All off season, the Texas Longhorns. I think Arch Manning is going to be absolutely brilliant. DeAndre Moore, the wide receiver. Ryan Wingo. Emmett Mosley. We talked about Wisner, the running back, who started last year as like RB2, RB3, finished RB1. CJ Baxter is back from an injury last year. We talked about the defensive end, Colin Simmons. Anthony Hill, the linebacker. Michael Topp, the safety. In some publications, he is All-American safety along with KJ Bolden. Some of them have him as second team. Texas is absolutely loaded, and we all await the Texas-Ohio State game that we're going to be doing a watch party on early noontime Eastern time, 11 o'clock in the morning Central time on August 30. Week 1, Saturday. Texas, Ohio State, join us. This is your SEC order of finish prediction for the 2025 season. This concludes the PATC official predictions for all of the Autonomy 4 conferences. In the ACC, Stanford, Wake Forest, Virginia, California, Boston College, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, Pittsburgh. Florida State, North Carolina, Duke, SMU, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami, and Clemson. In the Big 12, UCF, Arizona, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Houston, Cincinnati, Kansas, Colorado. BYU 8, TCU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas State, and Baylor, and Arizona State. The Big 10, Purdue, Maryland, Northwestern, UCLA, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska. Washington, USC, the beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. And then finally in the SEC, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Auburn, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri, LSU, Georgia, and Texas. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Let me have it. Let me have it. But remember one thing. It is Greg the Goal in 2025. Greg the Goal. Okay, now, before we get to your phone calls, and again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on our 3rd year anniversary of starting the YouTube channel. Son of Sarah, second verse, same as the first. For Ohio State, it'll be a whole lot better. For Texas, it's going to be a whole lot worse. August 30th, high noon, we will be waiting. Wow. Wow. The Buckeyes PATC family member.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Has thrown a shot at the Longhorns. Okay, before we get to your phone calls, finally, we are going to get to the games. We're just going to touch a little bit about them, a little bit right now, okay? We're going to get to your phone lines. We're going to open up the phone lines. This is a Sunday, lazy afternoon. You can talk about anything you want to talk about in college football. But we have to touch upon these games on week 0 and week 1. These are the updated lines. No, we're not making any of our picks today. Nope. We're going to have to wait. We got to see if there's more injuries. We just had Pendergrass, the backup running back, RB2 for the Baylor Bears. He got injured. The backup running back, the Bryson Washington. I don't think that has anything to do with Greg the Cooler. Okay? Everybody relax. At Baylor, they got a couple of true freshman running backs. They're going to try to backfield that position. It's tough. It's a tough injury for the Baylor Bears. The last thing I said about Pendergrass is I said, this is a very important player. He's a first down maker. He's a big back. And of course, right after I said that, he got injured. Thank you, Son of Sarah. Appreciate you, Super Chat. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you so very much. Dave Valinsky. Who do you think is going to win the MAC? I think it's between Ohio, Buffalo, Miami of Ohio, and Toledo. We did a MAC breakdown. Buffalo's in the top 3. I remember that. Miami of Ohio, top 3. Toledo, top 3. I don't think Ohio Bobcats, I don't think they're in the top 3 of the conference. But we did a breakdown of the MAC conference between MAC, Miami of Ohio, and Toledo. And I think we had Toledo winning it all this year. So we're going to go with Toledo. Dave Valensky, thank you so much, Golden Gopher. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Greg the Cooler, Frozen, Pendergrass. I'm going to pray that is not the case. Carla and Ben are here. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, we are going to look at some of these games now. Okay? We're not making our selections. We're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Jim Bagley. Love the Missouri pick. Congrats on 3 years. Thank you for the super chat, Jim Bagley. Do you love the Missouri pick because you are a Missouri Tiger? Or do you love the Missouri pick because you're a Kansas Jayhawk? And you think it's still Greg the Cooler and not Greg the Gold? Are you doing a double? I think you're a Missouri Tiger. I think you believe that the Missouri Tigers are actually going to go to the college football playoffs. And Jim Bagley, I think you are a genius. Yes, you are. You are a Tiger. I remembered correctly. I just hope that Bo Pribula gets the QB1 job. Is he going to be the starter? Jim, let me know in the chat room. What is the word? Is it Horn or is it Pribula? I think Pribula just needs an opportunity. That kid, You all don't know. Is it going to be Horn? I guess Horn's been playing great. Either one. I just, the pre-Bula is, it's going to be Horn? Okay. I just hope pre-Bula, the kid is a thoroughbred. You got to let him run. You got to let him get out there. So I hope he plays as well. But I did hear that Horn has been lighting it up. So, all right. Thank you, 2012. Elva, thank you so much. Appreciate it. That is my sister-in-law. I believe that is my sister-in-law. I believe that is my sister-in-law in Mexico City. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you very, very much. Thank you. Okay, now we gotta be talking about these games here. Families coming in Mexico City. Everybody's here today. Third year celebration, third year anniversary, and again, thank you all, guys. If it wasn't for you all, would not have been possible. Farmageddon. Iowa State at Kansas State. We're not making our predictions. We're just we're starting to marinate on this, guys. We've gone through our predictions. We've gone through our first team, all Big Ten, all ACC, we've done it all, guys. We've got the Heisman watch list. Okay, we got the Heisman watch list. All right? We've done the work. We've done all the lists. There's nothing more we can do. We've done the Spotlight series. We've broken down the tape. Now we got to actually start talking about the games. It's August 10th. It's August 10th. The first game's August 23rd. We don't got much time. Iowa State, Kansas State, Dublin, Ireland. Opie, I don't get why they're not continuing the series 108 years straight. It doesn't make any sense to me. I talked about that at the very beginning of the show. Very beginning of this show. Thank you, Lee Go Gators. Can't stick around, just dropping in to say congrats on 3 years, Greg. Thank you, Lee Go Gators. Thank you for being such a wonderful member of the PATC family. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you for the $2 holla. I'll get to you, Curtis, and I'll get to you, Daniel Gygax. Thank you for your generosity. I'll get to you guys in a moment. Iowa State, Kansas State. The Wildcats are favored by 3.5. I think that's a pretty good line. I think that's going to make this game very difficult. Very difficult. Cyclones or the Wildcats? Now, you all know that I predicted Kansas State to come in third in the Big 12 and Iowa State to come in sixth. I think Kansas State's got a higher ceiling but a lower floor. I'm going to be watching A.V. Johnson this game. Now, Dylan Edwards, Kansas State's probably not going to use Dylan Edwards in the way that I wish they would use him. In other words, I wish they would use him more. We'll see what happens. He had that great bowl game last year. Maybe Dylan Edwards is going to be their guy. Hopefully they make him their guy. But A.V. Johnson is the guy I'm going to be watching. I think we're going to know we know what we're going to get out of Mr. Rocco Beck. Carson Hansen. We don't know what we're going to get out of the Cyclones wide receiver room. That's going to be a problem. That's why I don't think they have the ceiling that the Kansas State Wildcats have. But either way, that is the line. Kansas State, Iowa State. Look at the date, August 23rd, 13 days away. Kansas, Fresno State. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to focus in on this game because we are going to be making our picks on this game. You Einsteins in the PATC family, We're gonna be giving you a poll like we do every year. You're gonna be making your picks as a family. And this is the one you've got to think about. Kansas, 13.5. First game in their fancy football stadium. Who do you got? Who do you got? The architect, Greg, I take serious issue with Franklin being on the hot seat. Silly with that winning percentage. But I won't rant any further. You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. But when I put this out, we'll get back to the games in a second. The architect, when I talked about this, I said number 5 and 6 don't really belong on the list. They're not on the hot seat. What they really are is on the pressure seat. Joey Maguire and James Franklin won't be number 5 or number 6 going into week 1. They just won't be, even though their teams don't play. But I wanted to put them up there for a reason, for 2 different reasons. Joey Maguire, with all the pressure, with all the money spent on the Texas Tech Red Raiders roster. I wanted to put Joey Maguire on the list, but he's going to come off the list. James Franklin, I wanted him on the list because this has got to be it for Penn State. This has got to be it. James Franklin ain't going to get fired. He ain't on the hot seat. But I wanted to put them on the list so we can talk about their unique situations. Now, the other 4 that are on the list, they're on the hot seat. Joey and James are going to be coming off. Maybe Cincinnati beats Nebraska and I take Satterfield off. Maybe the Oklahoma Cowboys roll and I take Gundy off. Maybe Oklahoma beats Michigan, I take Venables off. This is going to be switching now. And the results of the weeks are going to be taking more precedent than the projections that I have. So, architect, I agree with you. Bob Swanger, your list makes no sense. Okay, Bob, all the Nittany Lion fans out there, ignore the list. Ignore the list. It will make more sense when it's titled PATC Hot Seat Watch heading into week 1. Okay? It's going to be more true to the results that are happening. Ignore the list. I'm not even going to put it up anymore. Okay, back to the games. Back to the games, and I'm going to get to your very generous super chats here in a moment. Okay, so we're going to be making the selection on the Fresno State, Kansas, Nebraska, Cincinnati, the Bearcats, the Cornhuskers. Now, I got a lot of heat from Cornhusker fans because I picked Nebraska to finish 10th in the conference. I put out a short this morning, a little 60-second video of me yelling into the microphone last night, "You got to show it to me, Nebraska. You got to show it to me. Show it." Thursday night against the Bearcats in Kansas City. You're only favored by 6.5. Show the country that you are ready to be a different Cornhusker than you've been the last 9 years. Show it to me. Nebraska, Cincinnati. Cincinnati can send a heavy message to the Big 12 counterparts if they win this game against Nebraska. They've got the quarterback who's won Big 10 games. Cincinnati Bearcats, Nebraska. We are going to be making our predictions in that game. Let me go to the incredible, generous super chats that have flown in here as we celebrate our 3rd year anniversary. Daniel Gygax, happy anniversary, Greg. Thank you, Mr. Gygax, Mr. Mountaineer. Thank you for your generosity. You've been a member for 17 months. 17 months, holy smokes. You are hereby knighted. Cloak and dagger. Thank you, Daniel Gygax, for your generosity, for your friendship. You do an incredible job on the Mafia, College Football Mafia show. All of you do an incredible job. It's a great YouTube channel. Thank you, Gygax. Thank you so very much. Curtis, Michigan, Wolverine. Curtis, happy PATC. Thank you for the $2 holler. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your long-time friendship. Thank you so very much. Has been. Happy show. Birthday. Not a birthday, it's an anniversary, but it's a birthday. It's a birthday of the show. I get it. Thank you for the super chat. Has been. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you so very much for checking in on us once again. Very valuable member to the PATC family. Purple Cat Claus. Thank you for the $10 holla. Save Farmageddon. We started our show talking about this. We put it up on the board. 2027 Kansas State football schedule. It does not list Iowa State. Iowa State 2027 football schedule. It does not list Kansas State. 108 years consecutive. This rivalry has been played since 1917. Your mark, you got to protect that rivalry. Kansas State can have two protective rivals, Kansas and Iowa State. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. Get it done, Brett Yormark. And if Brett Yormark does not get it done, then Kansas State and Iowa State are going to have to play. They're going to have to agree to play each other in a non-conference game in 2027. They're going to have to figure it out. Save Farmageddon. Thank you, Purple Cat Claus. I absolutely agree. Thank you so very much. Heartbreak 25. Happy 3rd anniversary of Sabotage. You guys. You Penn State guys. I tell ya. Look, I think it was like 40 minutes ago, I said the most stressed out fan base in the PATC family is the Nittany Lions fan base. They should be the ones that are most comforted. They should be the ones that have the most confidence. The Nittany Lion fan base in the PATC family are the ones that should be going to bed at night, putting their head on a cold pillow. They should sleep the whole night through. They should have no worries because Greg the Gold said so. Penn State is going to win the Big Ten championship. It's happening. It is absolutely happening, and there's no way it's going to be stopped. Not by Greg the Gold, nobody. You got this, Heartbreak 25. You've got this. Morris Simmons, thank you so much, Mr. Seminoles. I appreciate it once again. Greg, happy 3rd anniversary and many more. Thank you, Morris Simmons. You've been a Cloak and Dagger member for 17 months. My goodness. Mr. Seminole Simmons, member for 17 months. You are officially knighted, Cloak and Dagger. Thank you, guys and gals. Thank you for your super chats, for your donation, for your generosity to help us keep the lights on. Thank you. Yes, it is the channel's birthday. You're absolutely correct. Thank you, Al Woody. PATC is a toddler now. The Big Ten is getting 3, not 4. They're getting 3. We'll talk about that. That's the last prediction show that I'm going to have. the college football playoff prediction show, I am fine-tuning that. You are going to be witnessing that either on Monday or Tuesday of the next couple of days. My official college football playoff selections. It's why I had to get these conference order of finish predictions done. I had to get this done so we can get to the college football playoff picks. I think the Big Ten's only going to get 3. We shall see. Amazing Blue, happy 3rd anniversary, Greg, and thank you for not picking my Wolverines. So here we come. Amazing Blue, you're going to learn. You're going to learn this. All of you are going to learn this year. It is Greg the Gold. Greg the Gold. Rod Nix, congratulations, Greg and the Little General. Best wishes for continued success. Goal knows. Thank you, Rod Nix. Appreciate it. Gold Black 45, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. Don Dog. What's up? Thank you for coming on in, sir. Okay, we're not even done with the games yet. The games that we are highlighting, because we are going to be making our picks against the spread in these games. We left off with Nebraska and Cincinnati, but now we're going to Georgia Tech versus Colorado, August 29th, Friday night. We are going to be doing a watch party on this one. We are going to be doing a double-header watch party. No, a double watch party. Georgia Tech and Colorado, and Auburn and Baylor play at the same time. We are going to be doing both games at the same time. Got to keep your head on a swivel. Georgia Tech and Colorado. The line is now 3.5. It was 4.5. What is going on? Why has the line dropped on Georgia Tech? What is the word? The line has gone from 4.5 to 3.5. This is the updated line on FanDuel. It was 4.5. Let me know in the chat. Is there something going on? Why is the late money, the start of the late money, the money is starting to go on Colorado? Is there an injury to Georgia Tech that we don't know about? Let's keep an eye on that line. If it drops to 3, if it drops to 2.5, And Auburn versus Baylor. Now, Baylor just lost their backup running back, their RB2, Pendergrass. This line has jumped from 1.5 to 2.5. It was at 2.5. It went down to 1.5, and now it went up to 2.5 after Pendergrass injury came out. Auburn. Cam Coleman, Singleton, Jackson Arnold. Can they win at Baylor? That is the question. 2.5 point spread. You got the Buckeyes and the Longhorns. My goodness. What a way to start the season on a Saturday, August 30th, week 0, noon Eastern time. Who do you got in that game? Who do you got in that game? Arch Manning on the road at the shoe. Julian Sayin probably going to be saying the quarterback. Both quarterbacks are going to be in a spot they've never been in before. You all know that I've got Texas as my way too early national champions. You do not know, though, who I picked to win the national championship in my official prediction. But you're going to find out in the next 48 hours. The Longhorns and the Buckeyes, number 1 and number 2 in the coaches' poll. Wow. Syracuse, Tennessee. That game is going to be going on at the same time, the Longhorns and the Buckeyes. We are going to be doing a double watch party. We're going to be doing the Buckeyes, the Longhorns, the Orange, and the Volunteers. I got Tennessee sliding. I don't know, guys. I'm going to keep this game under wraps. And then Alabama, Florida State. I'm not keeping this one a secret. I got Florida State covering. And you all know why. Tony White, the defensive coordinator, is going to wrap up Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is going to be all confused. Florida State is going to cover. Bama is going to win in a very close football game. That's going to shock the country. But that's what Greg the Gold does. The Seminoles are going to cover. Wendy Scruggs. We're calling a timeout here. We are calling a timeout talking about these games. Is this something new, Wendy? Is this a new report? Wendy, are you keeping your head on a swivel? Is this something that just came up? Wendy Scruggs, for those who are listening and not watching, says in the chat room, Inside Carolina says new UNC athletic director, which is going to be Newmark, that starts 2026, is actively trying to get UNC into the Southeastern Conference. Greenville, South Carolina paper is saying similar things about Clemson athletic director. Is this something new, or is this something that's already been reported and we've talked about it? Okay, we talked about that stuff that week and the previous days. But thank you, Wendy Scruggs. Appreciate it. Now, LSU Clemson. That is a big game. I'm not going to give it away on who I'm going to take. But I don't think the loser of this game is going to miss the playoffs. I think both these teams are going to make the playoffs no matter who loses this game. It's still an important game. Very important game. Thank you, Wendy Scruggs. Sorry, the Tar Heel Wire. They might be just... they might be just redoing what's already been reported, but I'll take a look at it. Virginia Tech versus South Carolina. That's going to be on a Sunday, August 31st. Lenore Sellers, Tyrone Drones, 7.5 point spread. I'm not going to give, look, I'm not going to give anything away. I'm not going to give anything away. But that's an important game for Shane Beamer. Notre Dame in Miami. Notre Dame in Miami Sunday night. The Fighting Irish in the Hurricanes. TCU versus North Carolina. We are going to be doing that game, watch party game, Monday night. If I have any voice left, we are going to be doing a watch party. Bill Belichick, Sonny Dykes. Holy smokes. If you would have said to me last year that PATC were going to be doing a watch party and the two coaches were Sonny Dykes going against Bill Belichick. Wow. 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 What music do you want me to play, honey? What music do you want me to play? The mariachi again? Do you want me to play the mariachi again? All right, here it is. For the little general who has supported this show for 3 years, letting us have the opportunity, letting us have all this time together. Mariachi, let's go. Now remember, we play this music in the middle of the third quarter when the watch party games are competitive. Within 2 touchdowns, this music comes on and we celebrate as we watch watch party. We celebrate as we watch college football together. CFB Express, thank you so much. Appreciate it, Rock and Rant. Congratulations on 3 years. 21 days until Notre Dame hits Miami, and everyone has to find out what Hard Rock Stadium can actually be like. Bold prediction. College football playoffs this year. The SEC, 3 teams. The Big Ten, 3 teams. The ACC, 2 teams. The Big 12, 2 teams. Notre Dame and a G5. That is the bold prediction from Rock and Rant CFB Express. Now, my prediction, well, I can't give that away, can I? We're one off. We're just like one thing away. We're real close. Let's put it that way. Real close. Thank you, CFB Express. Appreciate it. Appreciate the generosity. Appreciate your friendship. Appreciate all you've done for this program. You do an incredible job on the College Football Mafia show. And, of course, check out CFB Express, where you got a bunch of hurricanes talking about college football on the national stage. They have great guests. They do a great job. Go check out at CFB Express College Football YouTube channel. What do we got going here? Let's open up the phone lines. I was hoping that we would have more time for you all, but let's open it up real quick. 763-260-1333. Give us a call. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. Give us a call. Don't be afraid to be a legend. I hope you like that, honey. Bob has forgiven me. Hopefully. Subscribe and smash the like button. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. turn on those notifications because we can come on live at any time. But before you leave, make sure you smash the like button. Appreciate it so very much. We got a long week ahead of us. A long week ahead of us before we get into week 0. It is coming, guys. It is a coming. It's very exciting.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, you're on the line. Thanks for calling, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a little shook up after last night.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I hear that, man.
Yeah, Milwaukee received more rain than in one day that they received in one summer.
Wow.
It was that bad. But the reason why I called is that I have an issue with you placing the Masters in 14th place in the Big Ten.
Yeah, okay.
I believe that they're better than Michigan State.
All right.
They're definitely better than Iowa.
Okay.
I would put them like 12th, 11th, 12th.
I mean, I hear you. I think Wisconsin. I think one of the issues about Wisconsin is that they're going to get beat up, though. You know, maybe with everything being even, I would have them finishing higher, but because, you know, they're playing Alabama, they're playing all the top teams in the Big Ten, I think they're just going to get beat up, and that's why I got them number 14.
Okay, so one other question I have for you is, if Fickle finishes in 14th place, or in the bottom third of the conference, does he survive?
I think a lot of it has to do, and I've answered this before, and I'm not trying to get out of answering the question, but I think it's not so much wins and losses and where you are in the standings. I think it's going to be really how you look at the end of the season. The last 4, now Wisconsin has a brutal schedule, right? But just take a look at the last 4 weeks. After coming off a brutal schedule, after playing Ohio State and Oregon, you play Washington at Indiana, Illinois at Minnesota. Those 4 weeks are going to tell.
Wisconsin is taking the X back.
Oh, okay, well, I'll let you. I will let you dream about that. I got no problem with that. It ain't going to happen, but I got no problem with you dreaming on that. But if Wisconsin, if they get, Washington at Indiana, Illinois, I mean, I think if Wisconsin cannot compete in those games, I think Luke Fickell will lose his job. But if they compete and lose, then he'll probably keep his job. So I don't think it's so much about the wins and the losses. I think it's going to be, is Wisconsin competing by the end of the year? So.
Okay. Even though I admit I don't like Fickell, but I gotta believe in the team itself. Even though I don't believe in the coach.
Yeah. No, I understand. This is the time. If you're gonna dream at all, this is the time, man. This is the time of year to dream. I get it. You support your team. You're gonna think the best as you can, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you today, Greg. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate it. Beautiful call. Evil Badger. I'm glad he's safe. 1 second here. Just cleaning something up here. Fickle back to Cincinnati. Happy anniversary, Greg. Thank you, Numbskull News. I appreciate your friendship. Thank you so much. You do a great job with your YouTube channel. Thank you for popping in once in a while. Thank you, Numbskull News. Mr. TCU Horned Frog. Real football right around the corner. I'm not going to be doing a watch party for Minnesota, California. I'm sorry, Cal Bears. What time does that game start? I don't think. I've already looked at 9:13. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that game, Cal Bears. We'll see.
From
Jose, fight on.
Jose, fight on. The floor is yours. How you doing, Mr. USC Trojan?
I'm doing fantastic, and congratulations on 3 years of the PATC family. Go for Godfather. Well done.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
And many more to come. In listening to during the week, the John Kennedy's Always Irish show, thinking back to last year when they were going to play A&M, it was like a calm, quiet confidence. The callers were, if we just block, tackle, execute, we can win.
Yep.
But against this Miami team, it's like the complete opposite. They're calling in, talking about what does it mean if we lose? What happens if we lose? What's going to happen? And poor John's about ready to rip his hair out. He's like, "Come on, guys! Why are you guys already planning on losing? Like, what is this? We should be coming off. I'll come back from the national title. We should be more confident than this, guys."
Yeah, I think it. I mean, I haven't watched them lately. I've watched a lot of them this year. Some of it has to do with, CJ Carr. They don't really know what they got. I think they got something special, but they don't know. So it's like, Riley Leonard, he didn't have the highest ceiling, but he had a pretty high floor.
Mm-hmm.
But with CJ Carr, they don't really know. But, man, they are loaded. They just got some injuries again. Notre Dame. Some backup players,
Yeah, and it's, with first-year starters early on in the year, they don't have the experience. They can be a totally different story in the second half of the year as they've progressed and learned, become more comfortable in the system. But, yeah, C.J. Carr going up against head-to-head a former starter in Carson Beck, who's played in the biggest of the biggest games that there is. I also would kind of lean with Miami. I, too, if I was an Irish fan, would be a little nervous and biting my fingernails to the nubs.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the big games that we're going to be making our picks against the spread on. And right now, it's Notre Dame -2.5 on the road. Carson Beck has got all the experience. C.J. Carr doesn't. But Notre Dame's got that established defense. Miami doesn't. Notre Dame's got Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price and Jade Greathouse. And I don't know. Should be pretty interesting to see what the PATC family does in regards to voting on this game and who they're going to pick.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great matchup, and I love seeing this to kick off the season. We should have matchups like this, week 0, all across the board. But yeah, I got a bone to pick with you. How do you explain the Gophers finishing ahead of the Trojans this year? You had them, I think, 7 or 6 was the Gophers, and the Trojans were down in 9th or 8th.
Yes.
I understand PJ Fleck and that secondary and the defense. I mean, it was top 5 last year. But I still see the Trojans raising some eyebrows this year. Our D-line is right up there. It's going to be, one of the best in the Big Ten. Mayaba, Vegas has him leading the Big Ten in passing yards as the favorite. I think Julian Sayin and Dante Moore are like 2nd and 3rd for Vegas.
Yeah.
So Vegas has confidence in Mayaba. Being able to sling the ball around. And our weakest point is the offensive line. But with having a mobile quarterback, I think we can neutralize that to a certain extent, threatening a read option run with Mayaba. I think that'll, if there was one position where we're going to be weak, you wouldn't want it to be the O-line, but in having Mayaba, I think it helps neutralize and minimize some of that downside.
Now, when I did the live show, which was yesterday on the Big Ten? I think it was
yesterday or the day before.
I don't remember. Whenever I did the Big Ten live show, when I did the order, it was yesterday. It was yesterday's show. I did say that USC and Washington were the wild cards of the Big Ten, and that they could finish 3, 4, or 5. That they had a higher ceiling than Michigan and Minnesota. So I did kind of give USC some props in that they could be a college football playoff team. And same with Washington, their quarterback, he's a big wild card. But I think USC can get into that 3, 4, 5 spot. I think they can jump in Minnesota, Michigan, in Indiana, or in Illinois, or both of them.
Yeah, our weakest point was our D-line last year, and we reinforced that.
I can't quite predict them at the beginning of the season because Lincoln Riley shook me last year. He shook me, right?
Yeah,
however,
as me.
I will say this. And one of the reasons why I said USC could finish 3, 4, and 5, besides all the talent they got, an emerging quarterback, I love their wide receivers. I've talked about it. Lane, Jacoby Lane. But another big reason why I think USC could finish 3, 4, or 5 is the schedule. That Big Ten schedule is doable this year. I mean,
we got Oregon on the road.
Yep. They play Michigan at home. But they don't play Ohio State. They don't play Penn State. So I think there is... they don't play Indiana. They do play Illinois on the road. That's going to be a big game. That's early in the season. So I understand what you're saying. I get it. And I 90% agree with you. In some aspects, I have USC up in 3, 4, 5. I just couldn't pull the trigger. But their ceiling is higher than pretty much everybody in the Big Ten except for Penn State and Ohio State. So.
Yeah, and I think this year Riley will take it more serious with the play calling. Going away from the running game last year, all year, it was just frustrating. It almost seemed like he was treating the whole season as an exhibition. Like he was trying to see which of these 9 receivers are we going to keep next year. And, it was just frustrating, some of his play calling. But I think he's going to focus in and have some more success this year. But here we go. So we'll find out. But congratulations, felicidades on your 3 years. Go for Godfather and fight on.
Appreciate it, my man. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, buddy.
Beautiful call. Beautiful call. Hating on my Gators, itching to prove you wrong. I'm not hating on the Gators. I'm nervous for the Gators. I'm nervous. I'm like this. I know you got talent. I've talked about the talent at Florida. But I don't know about DJ Legway. I don't know. I don't know what's... I don't know if he's going to get the reps, the practice time. I don't know. And then you got Dallas Wilson, who got a little injured. I know he's coming back, but when you got a true freshman receiver like that who had a great spring, you want him to get all the reps in the world with DJ Legway, and they're not going to get that. I was willing to bet on the Gators, even with that schedule, but now I'm questioning the health of the quarterback. So I had to pull back from that. We shall see. We shall see. Great call. No question about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody who has donated to this channel with your wonderful donation to help us keep the lights on. MBM, Kerry Gold Knowles, Helmer Hennison, OPD Non, Stephen McNeely, Evil Badger, Jeremy Nork, thank you guys so very much. Zero Wiz, thank you for becoming a member for the 16th month. Mo and After Dark, Son of Sarek, Gopher Dave Valensky, Jim Bagley, the Missouri Tiger, PATC family member. The other Gygax, thank you so much, Mr. Mountaineer, for your generosity. Mr. Wolverine Curtis, thank you so much. Has been, thank you. Purple Cat Claus, thank you, Kansas State Wildcat. I appreciate your generosity. Mr. Seminoles Morris Simmons, thank you so very much. Michigan Wolverine Amazing Blue, Miami Hurricane Rock and Rant, thank you so very much. And the Evil Badger. 5 gifted memberships. The Evil Badger, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so very much. Anthony Mazzano, DB Cougar, HJ Nick, Q4I, Ike Knoll, and Fake Reality 96. You are all gifted a membership from the incredible generosity of Evil Badger. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Evil Badger. Thank you, guys. All of you are knighted officially. Cloak and Dagger, you've all become members of our program. Thank you, Rod Nix. Thank you, Neil Sandler. Appreciate it. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, The Architect. Thank you, AMAC. Thank you, Karan Shakar. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the generosity to the phone calls. And that's it for our predictions for the order of finish in the conferences. They're bolted in. They are official. They're not going to get changed. We're going to go back and look back during the season, and we're going to look at my brilliance. We are going to see that it's Greg the Gold, not Greg the Cooler anymore. It's all there officially. I want to thank all you guys. It's been a great 3 years, and we're going to keep this thing going as long as you all allow us to keep this thing going. We have a lot of fun talking about the game we love, the history, the pageantry, the passion of college football. It truly brings this country together. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. And as always, God, family, Golden Gophers.